Alright guys, so here we are on lesson 1 of 2D geometry, which is technically unit 5 in anything that you look at in OneNote or on GMS Learn. So today we're doing pretty basic finding the area of some certain shapes using grids. So if you look in the box, it says the definition of area is the number of square units it takes to completely fill a two-dimensional shape. And then when we talk about labels for this, we're always talking about units squared. So remember that little 2 up at the top, the centimeters here, that means squared. So if we look at example 1 here, the squares on the grid are 1 centimeter by 1 centimeter. So the area of each square is 1 centimeter squared. So to find the area for something like this, these are all whole shapes. So we're just going to count the boxes. I'm also going to kind of outline this shape a little bit more because it's kind of dark on the paper. So we're talking about this rectangle here. So we're just going to count the boxes. So we have 1 box, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So the area would be 8, and they said it was centimeters, and then we're going to include the squared. All right. So if we look at the next one, how would we find the area of the triangle? Well, triangles are a little different because we have this diagonal line. So what we're going to do is we are going to draw in a rectangle or a square sometimes to help us figure out what the area of just the triangle is. So in the end, we want just this purple shaded part here. So first we're going to find how many total boxes there are in the square. So you could count them one at a time, that's fine. Or if you count the lengths of each side, so this side is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 across. And then going down is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 going down. Well, you could just do 6 times 5. So we have 6 times 5 going down is 30 for the total boxes. Okay, but we only want the triangle, which is half of the rectangle, so we're going to take our 30 and divide it by 2. So the area of the triangle would just be 15. And since we don't know what the measurement unit is, we would just say units squared. All right. And then you may go ahead and flip the page. So we're going to skip the first 2 and we're going to go down to the bottom example 4 here. How would you find the area of the trapezoid? So here, again, these are kind of not very well drawn lines. So this is the shape we're looking at. This is a trapezoid, which is kind of like a rectangle-ish, but it's got these angled lines. So for this one, we're going to have to draw in 2 squares around these triangles on the right and the left side. So here is 1 square we're going to draw in. I'm doing it in pink. And then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So it's kind of like splitting this into 3 separate pieces, but remember we want this shaded part, and then we want this shaded part over here. But sometimes I do like to number them, so like this would be part number 1, then I have part number 2 in the middle, and then part number 3 over here. So if we go off to the side, for this shape on the right hand side, number 1, so my total number of boxes, if I count, so it's 3 going down and then 3 going across, so it'd be 3 times 3, so it'd be 9 total boxes, but then I only want half of them, so I'm going to take my 9 divided by 2, and I get 4.5. And that's okay to get a decimal. All right. Now my middle part, that's the easy part if I counted all the boxes, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There are 9 total boxes for the middle. And then for the right hand side, so again, I've got 3 going across and 3 going down. So I would have 3 times 3, which is 9. But then again, I only want half that shaded part. So 9 divided by 2 gives me 4.5 again. So I've got each individual part now, but now I want the total purple shape. So I'm going to take these areas, my 9 plus my 4.5 plus my 4.5, I'm going to add them up. So my total would be 18 units squared. Okay, so sometimes you're going to have to break the shape up into smaller pieces. Then once you're done copying that down, you can flip the page one more time. All right, so here in number 1, we've got a triangle. So again, I need to box it off. So I'm going to take it, I'm going to box it off here. But then I only want this shaded part on the top side. So if I count my boxes, so I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 going across the top, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 going down the side. So in total, I would have 4 times 5, which would be 20 boxes. But then I need to take my 20, I need it to divide it by 2. So I would get 10 as just my triangle, so my area would be 10 units squared. Okay. We're going to skip the next one here, number 2, and we're going to jump down to number 3. So number 3 here, I've got just a rectangle, so you can just flat out count them. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. So we know it's 28. So 28 units squared, but I know some of you are like, well, I'm not going to sit here and count all these boxes. So going across, I had 7, and going down, I had 4, so I could also do 7 times 4, which would give me 28. So I get the same thing. All right, now off to the side here, number 4. So I've got, this is kind of like that trapezoid from the other side, but this is technically a parallelogram. I've got to box it twice. So I'm going to have to box my top triangle off. So there's one part. And then I'm also going to have to box off my bottom triangle. So that's my second part. So for part number 1 here at the top, I've got a total of 6 boxes. I divide by 2. So this would be 3 for that part. Now in the middle, that's pretty simple. Just count 1, 2, 3. So that's 3 for the middle part. And then down here for the third part, I've got 6 total boxes, dividing it in half. So I get 3 again. So now I have to add my 3's. So when I add them, I get 9. So my area would be 9 units squared. Okay. Now number 5 down here. So number 5 is a little tricky. When you look at it, some of you might get a little confused about how you could box them. But remember, you always want to box the triangles. So here at the top, here's a triangle. If I were to draw in a line, so this would be one box. And then my bottom would be a separate box. So I only have 2 shapes here, so it's really not too bad. So if I look at the top shape, my number 1 shape, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 total boxes. And again, I have to divide it by 2. So I get 3 here for the top. Now my bottom, I've got 1, 2, 3 going down the side, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 going across the bottom. So to get my total, I would do 3 times 6, and then I would get 18. And then I would divide my 18 in 2. So 18 divided by 2 would give me 9. So then I would have to take my 9 and my 3. So I would add them. 9 plus 3 would give me 12. My total area would be 12 square units. Okay, so we'll stop here for now, and then obviously we'll do some more practice in the classwork, but that's all we're going to do for this video.